Should I 25 male tell my friend's 28 female fiancé we were hooking up? They just got engaged and pregnant. Supposedly they split up last year during COVID lockdown because he was going to be spending unspecified amount of time out of state with his family. She told me they broke up and after that we were hanging out at my place to keep each other company. I've always been attracted to her. One night we smoked a lot of weed and got handsy and flirty. We went to my bed and had tax. From there we ducked like rabbits basically all the time during lockdown. But a couple months ago she tells me he came back and they decided to resume their relationship, so we needed to end our thing. It sucked and I was sad because I did like her a lot, but that's how it goes sometimes. Last week I heard they decided to get engaged. He proposed to her when she found out she's pregnant. Now it was never my intention to ever tell him we hooked up cause they were broken up. But I'm learning now that they never were broken up. He told me they were doing long distance relationship. That he happy they managed to stay strong. Just to double check I got confirmation that they wouldn't be open to anyone else. He thinks she was faithful to him that whole time. Now they engaged, about to have a baby. It's a lot happening and I'm not sure if I should tell him she was cheating on him. This could be ducking up a future family and all. At the same time I'd want to know. But what if he prefers not to? I don't know, I'm lost, what should I do? Should I tell him? Update 1. Well, he knows. Told him day before yesterday. I thought about telling her first, but I didn't want her to spin the story and make it seem like I'm the one who's a liar. I just texted him asking if we could meet up. He was already seeming weird that I'd ask him to meet up because I have never done it before. I still had all the texts we sent each other back then. And obviously he knows her number, so it doesn't seem like I faked them or something. He was pissed like he wanted to punch me, but when it was all out there he just said he can't talk right now and walked off. That was it. But she was blowing up my phone that night asking what I told him because he broke off the engagement. On top of that he's not replying to her. And I told her all I said was the truth. She came to my place crying about it. First she was mad, but then she said she's sorry about everything. And she knows she had lied to me too when we were doing our thing. I asked her about the baby, but she claims she's not sure. They were already together around the time she got pregnant. But also she knows we were still having tax at the time too. She didn't know how to tell him and he surprised her with the proposal when he found out about the pregnancy. Obviously now he wants a paternity test and I told her I need to know too. She asked me what I'm gonna do if the baby's mine and I said I'll be in its life. All she told me was, okay good, and now we're seeing where we can get a paternity test done since you guys said it's possible to do if before the baby is born. I'm nervous as duck. Just want to get this done so we know for sure if I'm about to be a father. It's crazy when I think about it. Some of our friends texted me asking if it's true, so word got around already. I haven't heard anything for him. But it's only been a day. Still, at least the whole meeting could have gone worse. I feel better that it's out there. Thanks for encouraging me to be honest. Oh, by the way, I don't know why this was a thing in the comments. I guess some people were just lacking reading comprehension because for some reason you were thinking he was my friend and had it in your heads that I was sleeping with a friend's ex. So just clarifying to those that, for whatever reason, thought I am a piece of shit for breaking the friend code, lol. He's not my friend. The girl who may or may not be my baby mama is who I was friends with. Not him. He was just a boyfriend of my friend. Wonder if people are still not gonna get it, lol. Thought it was pretty clear in my original post. Anyways, that's all the update I got for you right now. All there is now is to find out if I'm gonna be a dad. Update 2. I know y'all were eager for this one. We just found out a few days ago, but first I wanted time to process this info myself. Glad some of you mentioned the prenatal paternity test instead of having to wait the whole 9 months. They really like to clean out wallet though, lol. Plus paid extra to have the results expedited. Anyways, well, it's official. I'm gonna be a dad. Part of me was like, no way, it's not possible, but I have the results with me. It's crazy. In a few months there's gonna be a little tiny human with my DNA out in the world. Like I said, I had to take a few days to process. Reflect on what kind of father I wanna be. Life stuff, you know. Changes I wanna make. Also, now that we got that confirmation, I've talked to a lawyer friend of my dad's who deals with child custody and other family stuff. He's really good, so I'm glad to have him to help me out with this whole process. I'm gonna be in my kid's life 100% like I said, but doesn't mean I want anything to do with her aside from co-parenting. She knows too, obviously. I told her unless it's got to do with the baby I don't really want contact. She told me she's sorry again for all this. And let me know when she got her next appointment coming up. We haven't talked since. I'm preparing mentally though. Not the most ideal way to bring a life into the world and not with this kind of person, but I'm gonna love that kid regardless. Just gotta set things up and go with the flow from there. Haven't heard anything about her ex. My buddy told me seemed like they're done because he took down all their pics together from his IG. It sucks. I've never been cheated on before. I don't know if I count this since we weren't ever technically together. Except I was lied to. Especially with someone I was gonna marry, so I'm sure it's painful. Anyways, for right now, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. Prepare for my kid. Figure out how we can work as co-parents. Happy to have a good lawyer to help me out in case she decides to make shit difficult. Doesn't seem like it. You never know though. Wish me luck. And any dads out there, I'd really appreciate some advice. Whatever you got. Monday to Monday schedules, my friend. Don't do this Sunday to Sunday bullshit with 50% custody. Monday to Monday means you each get a grown-up weekend and a fun parent weekend. When the kid goes to daycare or school, you drop them off, the other one picks them up so you don't have to interact as much. This next part is hard, but I did it, and it's been a lifesaver ever since. It was a battle I had to fight and win, but even she agrees this is the best. One birthday party, everyone goes. The child pays no price for your shitty life choices or hers. Only you pay the tab of having to get comfortable with this shit. Go to all events together. Not in the same car and shit, lol, but go together. All the events. The kid gets their parents cheering them on, taking pictures and putting their petty bullshit aside for the sake of the kid. The kid needs to know you both show up. All the time. This does not mean you are friends. I am not friends with my cheating ex-wife, but I love my child more than I love myself, so I had no choice in the matter. We are each other's babysitters. Saves money, gives parents more time with their kid while also being a good co-parent. Discuss all punishments together. Go over report cards together. If kid gets in trouble with you, punishment continues with her and vice versa. This one is my most genius move, because when my kid, who is now 11, gets to the sneaky teenager stage, he will not be able to play us against each other, because we talk, we text, we agree on what needs to happen. There will never be a mom said I could or dad said I could, because we are both just a phone call away. I have been doing this since before he was 1 year old. Both of us have remarried, and now my kid has 4 parents at all his shit cheering him on. He gets damn near straight A's. He doesn't start shit. He is kind and empathetic and wonderful, because we put in the work as a team. And put the kid first. At first it ducking sucks, because you still harbor resentment or anger, and shit. But the kid made it all worthwhile, and seeing him not turn out to be a little asshole, and that his mother and I are at a place where he is all that matters to either of us, so we don't have any ill will anymore and can actually sit together and chat about shit at his events, has done wonders for him. Good luck. This shit takes 2 people to not be trash parents. So I cross my fingers you both aren't trash for the sake of the kid. My ex and I also don't do any child support and shit. Whoever has money pays for shit. It's about the kid, not about who is owed what. I do better than my ex-wife because I married a hot rich doctor lady. So I pay for most things. And I don't give a shit, it's for my boy. And his mom is doing her best and she always picks up the bill when she can. Thanks mate. This is good info. Appreciate this, and I'm happy you two managed to make it work. Sorry for what she did, bro. Your kid is lucky to have parents who put their shit aside. Hope we get to make it work like this. Yeesh. What a saga. I want you open up a 529 college savings account. Put at least 200 month into it. Watch that beach grow over the next 15 years. Good luck. Glad to hear you're preparing for the baby. Even though you weren't friends with him, you showed you have morals, both for him and your soon-to-be child. Now he can move on without wasting his years on this girl, especially if her plan was to pass off the child as his. I can respect you for sparing him that. My only hope she doesn't make this difficult for you. You'll have to be involved with her until she is 18. She wasn't gonna tell him since she went ahead and accepted his proposal. Glad we both know for sure, or it would have gone to shit. Then on top of that, miss being in my kid's life. Second story. My husband doesn't understand estrual boundaries. Either that or he just genuinely doesn't care. At this point I am not sure which it is. We've been together for 5 years and there have been so many discussions about the way he treats me when he wants to be estrual with me. First it was that he assumed for a very long time that if I said no in any less than an emphatically stern manner that I was just teasing him. So he would keep pursuing whatever he was doing. I used to say no very shyly because I am a woman who also has a history of estrual abuse, and fawning is how I survived much of my life. A few months ago we went to an adult store and picked out a few new toys to try out later on. The next time we got ready to have tax, he starts pulling the new toys out and I tell him that I didn't want to do that right now. He blatantly ignored me, took the toys and began washing them to prepare them, and I told him again I don't want to use those right now. He responded by saying, well, let me just try this little bit. I just want to see if you like it. I told him no. I am telling you no, it's not going to happen. He backed off but acted like I was yelling at him when I was simply telling him what my boundaries were and reaffirming them when he wouldn't listen. I had consensual tax with him afterwards, like we had initially agreed to after this tiff. Then, today, I wanted to give him oral tax but nothing more, and he agreed to it but told me that just because I said I didn't want to have tax, that didn't mean he wasn't going to try to seduce me. I stopped and told him that it was really ducked up, and he apologized and said he didn't mean it that way, but that's bullshit because we've been together for 5 years and his behavior hasn't changed much when it comes to estrual coercion. I am so sick of this. especially since I am in therapy right now to deal with PTSD from sexual abuse I endured as a kid, and he knows what I am going through and continues to try to push my boundaries or persuade me into doing what he wants. Truly. I've told my therapist about it and she kind of brushed it off, saying it was okay because I held firm in my boundaries, but I feel like I shouldn't have to keep doing this. It's really upsetting me. Third story. I 23 felt excluded by my boyfriend 26 and his friends at a wedding, which led to a fight and me crying during tax. So for more context, my boyfriend and I went to one of his friends' weddings this weekend, and I ended up often feeling a bit excluded from conversation with the guys. On a couple occasions I said something that either nobody heard or I was ignored. And a few times guys straight up walked up and stood literally in front of me to strike up convo with my boyfriend and his friends we were standing with. Even my boyfriend faced his back to me at one point to where I couldn't see anyone in the group that was talking. But I try not to let this get to me and try to make friends with the other girlfriends who I don't know. As a person who is not often extroverted and dislikes small talk, trying to make this effort was kinda draining for me. Anyways, at one point a joke was cracked about which pair of us would be married next. And when everyone looked at us, my boyfriend said, "We don't believe in marriage. We're in an open relationship. We're good friends." Even though this was a joke too, I was kind of shocked by that response and felt a little slighted. I'm not sure why he had to say no in such a drastic way. Later on I also heard some passive-aggressive comments between the guys and just wasn't having a fun vibe. On the way home I tried to tell my boyfriend how I felt about being excluded, and he said I don't have anything to contribute in conversation. This led to me crying and him throwing stuff when we got home. We talked a little more once things calmed down before bed, but I cried again and he fell asleep. The next day I started crying again while getting ready, so we had a little more conversation about it, but not much. I felt like he was harboring negative feelings with me later on, and at one point he told me to shut the duck up as a joke. I didn't answer. I felt like anything I said was annoying him. He mocked me for saying cheeseburgers are better than hamburgers and yelled at me that cheese doesn't always have to go on them. I just let these things go. At the end of the day we were watching TV in bed and he initiated tax. He told me he wanted to push me up against our balcony door and duck me. But I said no because it's daylight and people will see restaurants below and hotel across street. He picked me up anyways and took me to the door, trying to push me into it, and I kept saying no. He finally accepted no and bent me over the couch instead, but started spanking me hard. I felt kind of like I was being punished for the weekend or saying no, and became scared and started to cry. I'm not sure if this is in my head. I just felt like emotions were still raw, plus the earlier comments when he realized he stopped and asked me what's wrong, and I apologized for ruining it. I cleaned up and there was silence between us, so I apologize again and we cuddled before bed. I'm feeling very distant at this point. What do I do? I should add he did make an effort to talk to me and make sure I had food, drink, take pictures with me, etc. during the wedding. It wasn't totally one-sided the entire time. I would leave him. This guy sounds like a boss. Why is he throwing stuff around like a toddler? Why are you apologizing when he hits you too hard? Why are you apologizing when he's trying to force you into situations you're not comfortable with? And the lack of respect when he told you to shut the duck up. You need to have boundaries of what your partner can and cannot say to you. At what point do you ask yourself, what am I gaining from this relationship, and is it worth the part of me I have to sacrifice? To me it sounds like you are sacrificing a lot of self-respect and dignity to be with a man who treats you like a thing rather than a person. Is that really what you want in a relationship? 226. Hit like if you enjoyed this video. Consider subscribing to our channel.